Welcome to the Black Castle Army Build Part 4. What is going on, guys? So as you know, and I've said multiple times, I'm completely running out of bricks. I have placed some orders. I got tons of 1x3s, 1x4s, some 1x1s, but I just don't have any of the modified bricks I was using. I've completely ran out, and I can't just go ahead and start placing all these down because without adding any of that texture, it just kind of loses the whole style I was doing with the castle. Now, I did go clean out almost 3 of my favorite Bricklink stores. They are completely out of light bluish gray brick. I bought them all. I've bought all their masonry bricks, and I've bought all their bricks with studs on the side, and it just still isn't enough. So right now, before I continue with the castle, I'm waiting on one more Bricklink order, and I think I have 3 Lego orders coming. One of the ones was that back ordered set. They've went ahead and approved it, but of course there is no tracking information, so I can't tell when it's going to get here. So I'm kind of stuck without doing anything to the castle. Now, if you watched last week's live stream, I did go ahead and complete that roof. I completed the 2nd floor interior. It is done completely. Now all I got to do is focus on the towers on the side. I think I have 3 roofs to do, 1 tower to do, and then the 3 towers on top of the main keep. So since I can't do anything to the castle, I pretty much just simply grab this wonderful Lego head and start building some minifigures. And as you can tell, this is kind of empty now, and the reason why is I've created almost 100 more. Now, if you watched the last army video, you know that I stopped at 145. Well, I went ahead and built 5 more of just random figures. That way it would be an even number of 150, and then I created these guys. Those first 150 are completely random. They're just figures that I absolutely have to have on the battlefield, stuff like that. These guys right here are a little different. Every one of these guys is actually built for a purpose. What I did was I basically went over there, looked at the castle, and was like, okay, I want figures here, 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 and here, and I started placing those 1x studs that I kind of talked about before. And I know I've talked about it before and I haven't really showed you, so I'm going to show you what I actually mean by that. So I go to Bricklink and I buy these inexpensive 1x1 round plates, and I pretty much take all of the translucent light blues and assign them to nothing but archers. Now, the part that gets a little difficult in my mock is there's archers that do different things. I've got some with hoods on and I've got some with helmets on. Now, the hood ones are going to be like the more stealth assassins. They're kind of going to be hid places inside of the castle, places that you might not need a real helmet. Now, the ones on the outside and on top of the fortress are all going to have helmets because they're simply getting shot at. And now remember, while placing these studs, the colors only mean something to you. It's just pretty much whatever you come up with. So one of the things that I want to do is create something for a lot of these guys that completely stuck out. So one of the things I went with was pieces I'm not going to use, like these light green flower pieces. They work great. They're really cheap. You can get tons of them. A lot of stores have them, and they're just easy to see on the contrast of that light bluish gray wall. So one of the things I first wanted to start with was assigning all of these archers basically a color and a base plate. We're going to start with in these, and all these are going to be these little green flowers we had talked about. So I'm basically going to put all the archers on there that have the hood on this base plate and kind of just assign them to this color. Now, one of the things is when I go to conventions, all this will be done a little bit different. These guys will not be on plates like this. It'll be in baggies just to help kind of save space. It's easier just to pull out a baggie that kind of has a stud in it and use that stud to pretty much assign where they need to be in the actual castle. And for displaying purposes, they're much easier to put on these base plates and just kind of move them around while they're down here. So as you can see, we have 23 more archers. Now I'm just simply going to take this, put it up here in the formation, and continue going to separating these next ones onto the next base plate. Now, these guys right here have no weapons or no shields. They are all created just for using the ballistas. I've still got to figure out how I'm going to put like a little seat or something to attach them to, or maybe just put them on a stand where it kind of rotates with the ballista. But these are pretty much going to be the guys running them. I do have 2 more, but they are actually already up there in the spots they're supposed to be. So with all these guys and including what is already set up in the castle, this makes my first 250 completely done. Now, I do have a ton more of detail pieces coming for these. I still got a bunch of these flags that I'm going to continue to throw up, but one of the reasons why I've kind of quit doing that is because I want to figure out where they need to go in the castle. I've got some banners coming that will be hung. I've got some different style flags. I've got some bigger flags. All this stuff will kind of be displayed outside of the castle along with a lot of the squads. Now, remember, I am doing a company and this is almost there. I still have another 250 to go, but right now I don't have all the outside scenery created for the castle yet, so these 250 are going to be more than enough to put inside of here. So what I'm going to do is continue to kind of figure out where they all go inside of the castle, and then all the ones that are left over will be left on these plates and just kind of displayed out front to show what I do have coming. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did talk about creating an opposing team, so let me go ahead and show you what I've done with that. So guys, as you can see, the other team is nothing but trolls, orcs, and skeletons. I have continued to make this kind of like a fantasy type thing. There is dragons and stuff, and there will be a story to how these guys actually became skeletons, but that will be later on whenever the whole field out front is made. And as you can tell, my guys have nothing to worry about. There's not that many of these, but believe me, I definitely have more to create. I definitely have more of the story to tell, and I cannot wait to do that. But it's just one of those things that doesn't make sense until I start adding the field out front. So I would like to thank you guys for sticking with this. With this, all of these guys and what is already in the castle, not counting horses, there is 300 minifigs already ready. So I know it's not as big as some of the other people's armies, but we definitely are going to hold our ground. Remember, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. Comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I should add some things, if I should change some things. I still have some bigger weapons to create, but I'm trying to get done with this castle before I do that because they are things that will be out in the field. Also, I want to add some things like some ballistas on carts. I want to create a huge catapult, probably 2 of them, which kind of explains why the boulders that are coming towards the castle are there. And I want to go back and pay homage to some of the other old castle sets that are all made on carts and stuff like that, with some weapons, some dragon breathing fire things and stuff like that. But thanks for watching. Come back and see us next week when we'll hopefully be working on the castle and not the minifigs, which the minifigs are a little more interesting, but I've got to get that thing done. I only have 4 weeks left. Peace.